Let's watch some crazy stuff, yo!
Are you tired of watching the same old crap on the internet? Why not check out the Shits and Giggles podcast?
We've got weekly episodes on YouTube and Spotify. Sometimes we have some laughs, we have some giggles. Sometimes we have some facts. Sometimes they're crap. Sometimes they're real. Sometimes they're not.
Hey, wait a minute, Rick. I thought this was a commercial. What's going on?
Relax, Morty. Don't worry about it. Let's just see where this goes.
So what is this?
This is the Shits and Giggles podcast. It's brilliant. They release episodes every single week. It's amazing. Check it out.
Oh my god, it's still the commercial.
Why don't you check out the Shits and Giggles podcast? Available on YouTube and Spotify.
Come along for the Shits and Giggles.
Jeez, Rick. Oh my god. That's some pretty hardcore stuff. What in the hell?
The Chits and Giggles podcast.
And that's why I'm sure she had a penis. That's the worst 50 quid I've ever spent.
Sounds painful.
I'm not going back to Thailand, I'm telling you. Anywho, space. Let's talk rockets.
Fire away.
We've got liftoff. There was in the news last week, I think it was. NASA had sent a rocket to the moon. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. What was on it?
I believe JFK's ashes and something else was on along with other things. Yeah, apparently. I don't know why, but there was something else. I can't remember what it was.
What, that was the whole point of the mission, to send his ashes to the moon?
No. I don't think that was the point of the mission. It was just on the spacecraft that went to the moon.
And that's the part of the headline you remember?
That's the headline that I see, yeah. No, the only reason I see the headline is because they found an anomaly within the spacecraft, not an aircraft. Something wrong with it. So I don't actually think it's going to get there. Something happened to it on the way. Maybe some space rocks hit it or something.
So JFK has been assassinated for a second time.
In space.
Nice.
Apparently. Yeah, I don't know what they were going there for, but I mean they haven't been there since the 70s, have they? So
yeah, 1972 was the last mission, I think. December.
Yeah. I thought they only went there once, but apparently no, they've been there a few times.
No, quite a few missions went there.
Mm.
And Apollo 11 was the first human one.
Right.
You had 12, 13 which failed, supposedly. There's rumours that it didn't fail.
Right.
14, 15, 16, I think 17 as well.
Why have they left it so long then between going to the moon? I suppose they don't really need to go to the moon, do they?
Yeah, apparently there's nothing there, so it's too much cost for not enough reward.
You're right. I suppose it does cost a few bob to get there, doesn't it?
Well, that's why Elon's trying to make it cheaper because, yeah, it costs a lot. I think they got years of development, of planning, of actually building, engineering, going into making this rocket, just for 95% of it to crash back down into the sea.
Fucking hell. Sounds like a waste of money.
SpaceX are making these reusable rockets for that reason.
I did see something else online about it's obviously bullshit, I think, but that there was some sort of lights or something on the dark side of the moon, on the other side of the moon that we can't see. Did you see that?
No, what sort of lights? I've viewed the conspiracy theories as a base there, but
theories. Well, apparently they found like a network of lights that they could see from space that was on the other side of the moon.
Maybe.
I mean, what are they called? If aliens on Mars are called Martians, what are the moon aliens called?
Lunarithian.
No, lunoids. Yeah. Did you not see that? It was it was some girl saying like latest NASA news or space news that they'd found some sort of like lighting system on the other side of the moon. It was lit up.
The thing is with social media, there's so much. Like I was saying in the last episode, apparently 50% of the internet's fake. So I take everything I watch with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
I don't quite know what's true, what's not. But yeah, I'm happy to believe it. Why not? I'm in.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't believe it, to be honest. They surely did. If there was something on the moon, they'd know about it by now. They've got enough satellites and shit out there to detect it.
Yeah, exactly. And if anything, I'd imagine it's our base, not aliens.
Maybe that's what happened in the 70s. They sent some people up there and they didn't tell us. Like you said, it was Apollo 13 that apparently didn't go. Maybe it actually did. Sent some people up there and started building a base that we don't know about.
I think the mission did go ahead, but for whatever reason, they only orbited the moon. They didn't land, according to reports. The official story is I think the landing gear or something malfunctioned,
Right.
meaning they couldn't land. So I think they went to the moon. They'd done a few orbits and then came back.
Ah, that's like getting all the way to Disneyland and going, do you know what? Nah, I'm not going to go in. Let's go. Turn around again.
If it meant if you was going to go in, you're going to die, would you go in?
Yeah.
It's Disneyland, baby.
It's Disneyland. I've never been. So, yeah.
Would you go to space?
Would I go to space?
Yeah,
I'd go to space.
I'd love to.
Oh, space is so cool, man.
I'd like to experience their type of gravity, like on the ISS.
Yeah. Weightlessness. Zero gravity. There's things you can do to experience zero gravity.
Yeah, it's not zero gravity though. Just low gravity.
I'm sure it's zero gravity. It's one of those things where they send you up in a plane and then it comes straight back down and there's no...
Yeah, that's not zero gravity though.
You can't fall, you're just floating.
No, you're falling at the same speed as the plane you're in.
Yeah.
So it's relative. Einstein's theory of relativity. If you're in a plane, if you're on a plane going this way and you're sat on the seat.
Oh, you mean x equals mc squared? Sorry.
Exactly, that's exactly what I meant.
Right.
Yeah.
Why don't you say that? God.
But I think they go up and then back down, and when they're coming back down, you hit some sort of speed, whatever the speed velocity is, that you are falling at the same speed the plane is traveling. I believe that's how it works.
That'd be pretty cool to do, though.
That'd be cool. Yeah, it's not quite zero gravity, but yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, even when you're in space, it's not zero gravity, but it'd still be cool.
Well, surely it's zero gravity in space. Can't be gravity in space, couldn't there?
Why?
Well, because there's only gravity. Wait. There's gravity on Earth.
Yeah.
Because we're spinning.
No, there's gravity of Earth because of the mass of the Earth.
Yeah, but isn't gravity that we're spinning and it keeps us in, keeps us down?
Centrifugal force.
Exactly. Isn't that what it is? But what's in space that's spinning? Obviously, the universe, the galaxy, is spinning.
If there was no gravity in space, then there'd be no order. There'd be planets hurtling everywhere.
There is.
There's not. They're all in order. They're all orbiting.
No,
because of gravity.
There are planets that just
they've
go
gone
off on their
rogue.
own.
Yeah, but that's because if they have an elliptical orbit or if they've crashed with another.
It's because they've got nothing to orbit. They've got nothing to stick to.
That wasn't always the case, though.
Well, I mean, are you talking like
objects can't form, matter can't combine without gravity.
Yeah.
So it would have to have started by orbiting the sun. All matter comes from an exploded sun, a sun that's gone supernova. All matter.
Well, it doesn't matter though, does it?
So it'd have had to have been orbiting a star originally for the matter to have accumulated and formed the planet. And from there, it went rogue. Many things can make a planet get thrown out of his solar system.
Maybe they didn't like it.
Maybe
it.
Fussy bastards.
Yeah.
But no, there's definitely gravity in space. There's gravity everywhere. Otherwise, the ISS wouldn't go around the planet. It's being held in place by gravity.
Yeah, but surely, if the ISS was to get a bit further away, it would just go and drift through space forever, and it wouldn't pull to anything.
It depends how fast it went. It's orbiting the Earth at a steady pace.
Right.
If it sped up, the orbit would get bigger. It wouldn't fly out of orbit. It would just get bigger. If it slowed down enough, it would eventually plummet back to Earth. But it maintains its speed by gravity. Gravity's holding it. Without gravity, as soon as it went up into space, it'd fly off. Without gravity, the moon wouldn't be orbiting the Earth. Without gravity, the Earth wouldn't be orbiting the sun.
All right, so there might be gravity, but not enough that that a person would notice. Do you know what I mean? If you was just sent out into space,
it's low gravity. That's what it's called. Microgravity.
Right. Okay.
The deeper into space you get, the further away from matter, from mass. The sun, planets, the moon, anything in space. The further away you get from that, the less gravity. But it's still always gravity.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. Useless fact of the day. I thought there was no gravity in space.
You know the Andromeda galaxy is hurtling towards the Milky Way galaxy?
Yeah, and one day they're going to go ptoosh, bang.
Because of gravity.
Right.
They're attracted to each other.
Right, okay. No, I never knew that.
I could be completely wrong, but that's what I was taught.
Disclaimer time.
No, of course, if there's no gravity in space, how the fuck's the moon going around us? It's being held into place by gravity.
By Earth's gravity?
Yeah.
So Earth's spinning and the moon is being held where it is
Not because of Earth's spin, though, but because of Earth's mass.
Yeah. But that's what I mean.
Right.
The moon is going around the Earth because
Yeah.
of the Earth's mass. Then, all right,
Yeah.
because of the Earth's mass, right? But the moon is actually moving away from us, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently, this is an interesting fact, at the rate our fingernails grow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So each time
Yeah.
you clip off your fingernails, the moon has gone that little bit further away.
So one day the moon will get so far away from us, it won't be able. Our mass won't be able to hold it where it is, and it'll just float away and go to probably Jupiter because it's the next biggest thing.
Yeah, depending on where the planets are when that happens. It could be Mars, it could be the sun, it could be anywhere.
Yeah.
It could be nowhere. It could just be, like we said, a rogue planet hurtling through space.
I wonder what would happen to Earth if the moon disappeared. If the moon did go, what would happen to the Earth? Do you think?
Well, gradually or instantly?
Instantly. If
Catastrophe.
The Earth, it would be, wouldn't it? If the moon just stopped.
Armageddon. You'd have worldwide tsunamis, mile-high waves.
Yeah.
You'd have earthquakes. You'd have volcanic eruptions. It'd be the end of the world.
You wouldn't have thought the moon plays that much of a role to Earth.
It plays a huge role. And it's weird that this planet, that's why it makes me wonder the chance of aliens. Because this planet is perfectly suited for the life on Earth. Down to where the moon is positioned. Everything is perfect. Every little detail has to be in place. The
Yeah.
distance we are from the sun, the size of our sun, the amount of planets in our solar system, the order of the planets in our solar system. If Jupiter was slightly closer or slightly further away, we wouldn't be here. If the sun was slightly larger or slightly smaller, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
If the moon was bigger, smaller, further away, it'd affect our oceans in a way that life probably, if it did evolve, wouldn't have evolved the way they did.
Yeah, isn't it that the sun or the moon? No, wait. The sun is X amount bigger, but it's also than the moon, but it's also X amount the same
It's a million
distance away.
times bigger and a million times further away. That's why,
That's why they look the same size.
like perfectly, that's why a solar eclipse is possible.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah, because that's what the thing I see, that when the moon gets to a certain distance where it gets that much further away from us, a solar eclipse will never be possible again because the moon will be further away
You'd
and it'll
always
sit
see-
inside the sun
Yeah, you'd always
instead
see
of
the sun.
over the top of it. You'll still see the sun around it.
That'll be in millions of years, but yeah, that's going to happen.
I know, but that would be a cool eclipse to look at, wouldn't it? I mean,
Like the
eclipses
Lord of
and
the
stuff are
Rings.
cool. Anyway, yeah,
Just be a big golden ring in the sky.
that would be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Hmm.
Still couldn't look at it though.
No, not where you'd have to have your special 3D glasses on.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that when you had to wear these glasses to watch an eclipse? I mean, you probably still do. Right?
Yeah, that's still the case.
Yeah, but do you remember doing it? Like, have you ever actually done that? Got the glasses and watched an
I've
eclipse?
never witnessed an eclipse.
Have you not? I have. I remember
Not a-
when I was a kid.
Not a total eclipse.
Yeah, I'm sure I did when I was a kid.
Really?
We all had these. Yeah, it was out in the garden. We all had these glasses. And we watched it. I remember it.
Like complete darkness.
I can't
Like
remember
black.
that. I can't remember that detail, but it was some sort of eclipse. I know that, and I know I had glasses to watch it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I witnessed some sort of an eclipse. It wasn't a total eclipse. It was like a partial one. It went pretty dark, but it didn't go nighttime dark.
I can't remember when there is a solar eclipse coming up soon. I'm sure it's this year.
They're all the time. It's just various places on Earth.
Yeah. Can't remember when there's a big one up. I can't remember when's the next total eclipse.
Have you seen a picture from space of the shadow of the moon on the Earth?
No, I don't think so.
It's pretty cool. So I think it was in America. Obviously it's from space, so it was the whole Earth, but you could see the Americas.
Mm.
And the shadow only took up maybe a quarter of the land. So not even the whole country would have witnessed it.
All right. No, I didn't know that.
Obviously, the closer the moon would be to us, the bigger the shadow would be.
Yeah.
Try and find a picture of
Hang on, let's have a look.
a solar eclipse from space.
All right, there we go. Hang on. So yeah, that's a cool picture, isn't it?
That's a cool picture.
Total eclipse as seen from space.
Yeah, see, obviously it's not the whole
Yeah.
side of the Earth that can see it. It's just whatever's directly in the line of sight of the moon and the sun at that
given time. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Obviously, you've seen the conspiracy theories about going to the moon and stuff, but what's your views? Do you think they actually went, like the original one, the 1969 one, the Apollo 10 or Apollo 11,
Apollo
whatever it was.
11.
Apollo 11. Do you think that happened? Do you think it was fake? What do you reckon?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of videos on it. My opinion changes all the time. The thing is, if they did fake it, why did Russia, their competitors, confirm their presence on the moon? They didn't deny it. Even if it did happen, they had every opportunity to say, we're observing
That's
the moon,
bollocks, yeah.
we can't see you there.
Mm.
But they confirmed it. They said, well done, you're there. You did it.
Isn't it? Did they not put some sort of like reflector or something on the moon as well? Is that right?
The reflector is in fact there, which
So
supposedly proves the fact that humans went there and left it behind.
Yeah.
But we've sent unmanned rockets to the moon. We've sent unmanned rockets that carry rovers to the moon. Why wouldn't you
Right,
just send
okay.
this reflective mirror?
So maybe they did go to the moon, but they didn't necessarily have the humans on that we said that were on it. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a load of things about the video of them on the moon. Is the camera is from already on the moon looking at them. So how did the camera get there to look at them? Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know the famous video
Of him getting down off the steps.
of him getting down off the steps and stepping foot on the moon.
That's Buzz. That's
Yeah.
Buzz getting down right. Well, Neil is already on the moon holding the camera. Neil was the first man on the moon. He stepped out of the capsule first, and then it was Buzz. And then it was the third guy, the poor fucker that no one remembers his name.
Nobody knows. Was there a third guy?
He stayed on the shuttle. He
Oh,
didn't go on the
actually
moon.
do it. Why would you go to the moon and not fucking get off?
He had
the-
experiments to conduct.
Really? They couldn't. He couldn't have just just gone outside for a minute.
I mean,
and gone,
I would have done.
"Oh, this is-
If I
this
was
is cool."
if I was told you're going to the moon, you have to stay inside. You're going to conduct. You're going
Fuck
to
you.
pass
I'm gonna.
messages
I'm-
back and forth to Earth. You're going to
Yeah, you're
play
gonna
Simon
go.
Says.
Yeah, you're at least gonna walk out and go. Well, that's pretty cool, and go back in again. Like you're not gonna not
Fuck guy.
walk out.
I would.
Anyway, do you know his name? No, you don't know.
No.
Nobody does. Right,
Johnny.
because Johnny. Let's say his name's Johnny. Bless him. Little
John
Johnny.
Doe.
John Doe. That's his name.
Yeah, so Russia confirmed it. That's my biggest. If America faked it, why did Russia confirm it? They were
Well,
rivals. They were enemies. The competitors. The reason
They're still
America were in
enemies.
such a rush to get I think everyone's the enemy of Russia at the minute. America were in a rush to get to the moon because Russia were beating them.
right.
Supposedly, up until America landed on the moon, Russia were beating them. They had the first rocket in orbit.
Mm.
They had the first astronaut in space. They
Really?
were beating America by a long shot
in the space race.
in the space race, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the end goal was to land man on moon, and America managed to do it overnight, pretty much.
Hmm. Or
And
did
there's-
they? I mean,
There's things about how did the camera footage survive the radiation in space. The footage wouldn't survive.
yeah.
Well,
true.
all you'd have to do is put that camera in a lead box. Done.
Yeah, but was the camera in the lead box while it was on and taking the video? While it was actually filming? 'Cause it would have to be.
Yeah, maybe. All you'd have to do is put a clear screen on the front.
It'd have to be a pretty decent camera though. I mean, pretty big camera, wouldn't it? You couldn't. Old Armstrong couldn't just pull out his phone and take a video. Not in the 1969.
Well, that
I mean, they
kind of
had cameras.
technology wasn't available to the public in 1969. We don't know what was available to the government.
Well,
They could have had cell phones.
yeah.
Do you
doubt
think
it.
that engineering companies, these electronic companies that are developing all these different things, do you think they give it to us before the government get their hands on it?
You're telling me that the government have already got an iPhone 17?
Maybe not an iPhone 17 because
Not a
why
fucking
would they want-
Samsung either.
Why would they want an iPhone? But they've probably got something that the iPhone 17 is going to be capable of in 5 years' time.
Like the type of technology. I mean, yeah, okay.
Have you seen
I
the
don't know.
sophistication on cameras? They got a camera in space that can zoom in and see the Nike logo on someone's shoe. They can read a text off your phone
From a satellite in space.
from a satellite in space.
Yeah, but they're massive lenses.
But the technology exists.
Yeah, you can't put a lens that size in a phone, in a camera. That's why, like, when you see, I
Yeah,
don't
but
know,
scale it
people taking
down. They
pictures,
weren't-
they got lenses that are like this big.
Right,
You know
but
what I mean?
they weren't taking photos of people's shoes. They were taking a photo of the Earth from a great distance, 250,000 miles.
Yeah,
And you can barely make it out. It's just a little blue marble, little blue circle, and the horizon of the moon. It's a great shot. It's the most famous photograph ever taken.
wait, I don't think I've ever seen that picture.
What?
Right, hang on, bear with
Pull
me.
it up. Literally the most famous photograph ever taken. I think there's two different photos. The first one they took had the moon in the horizon. The second one they took was just the blue marble in a black background. Okay, yeah, see, so you got the half Earth
Yeah,
with the moon in the horizon, which is the first photograph taken, I believe. Yeah, Apollo 11.
yeah, Earth, Apollo 11. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty shit quality in it, to be honest.
Well, like you said, 1969.
Yeah, but why does the Earth look like it just looks like it shouldn't be there? This looks like it might be right, but the Earth just looks like it just looks CGI'd. It looks like Photoshop.
Right, now go outside on a dark night and take a photo of the moon with your phone, with your iPhone, amazing quality, and see what
Yeah.
that looks like.
Yeah, but I don't know. So if they could take that picture with a little blue marble, why are the pictures that we see with him stepping off the space shuttle, why is that in black and white?
Maybe it's been colorized. NASA are famous for color editing their pictures. You know, a lot of the moon photo, the Mars photos you see sent back from the rovers,
And yeah, they're all
they've all
red
been
or
enhanced and
orange.
yeah, they've all been enhanced and changed on the color spectrum so that we can, you know,
That's the one, isn't it?
the pictures
That's
from
the
Hubble
one.
telescope and the James Webb.
That's the famous video bit that I'm on about, but that's all in color. I thought it was black and white, or do you reckon they've added color to it?
Possibly added color to it. I thought it was in
Lunar
black and
landing
white.
hoax. This picture in
I
which
also
Earth appears added in. See, prove moon missions faked.
Well, does it prove moon missions are fake? Is that a NASA official picture? Did NASA release
I
that
don't
photo?
know.
Because I could make that picture.
I mean, come on.
It only proves the moon landings are fake if NASA released that image.
I don't know. It does kind of look. I don't know.
It was a cool photo. Definitely fake, but cool.
I don't know. I don't know. Because I know obviously people have been. Didn't India go? India got to the moon a few months ago, didn't they? Like people, they sent people to the moon.
No,
Did they not send people?
no, just a rover.
But
Maybe not even a rover.
India did go to the moon, or have
Yeah, they
sent them to the
launched
moon.
a shuttle to the moon. Yeah, it definitely wasn't people. The last people, the only people to ever walk on the moon, supposedly, were the Americans between 1969 and 1972, doing I think 5 missions.
Right. Okay.
And in these missions, they brought back various different moon
They
dust.
brought rocks back and shit, didn't they?
Yeah, rocks.
Yeah.
There's different samples that have been tested by many different scientists across the world, not just American scientists.
The thing is, no matter what people say happened, there's always going to be people that say it didn't. Do you know what I mean? Like I could say, if I say, I don't know, I went to Disney last weekend. There's always going to be people that say, no, you didn't. You didn't go to Disney. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's
So
the moon.
I know, but NASA say we went to the moon, and then however long later, I don't know when these conspiracies started, but however long later they turn around or people, humanity turn around and say, no, you didn't. That's fake.
I think pretty much straight away, there was always people somewhere thought they were lying.
Yeah, but how many people
Look at
actually?
America's history, though, especially the government. It's full of corruption, full of lies. The entire history.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them at all, especially to beat the Russians. But I'd like to believe they did make it there, because then if they did, then there's hope for us going back.
Hmm.
Many people believe it's impossible to get to the moon.
Why? Because of the big dome that's over Earth.
Yeah, they banged it. No, but the radiation in space, in deep space, apparently the radiation is so high that you die before you even get to the moon, which means there's no chance of us getting to Mars.
Hmm.
So
Do you
people on the
reckon
ISS, which are definitely there, people think that they ain't even there, but
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, they're there.
I believe so.
Yeah.
But the people there, they're still protected for the most part, not 100%, but for the most part by the Earth's magnetosphere. On the moon,
Yeah,
there's
I
nothing.
did see a conspiracy about that as well, saying that one of the videos that was released, it looked like one of the astronauts that was up there had a harness thing on that was holding him so that he could float around, and you could see couldn't see the wires, but you could see where it was clipped to either side of him.
Yeah.
But he might have had that to stop him from floating away or something. I don't know, like while he was making a video.
Was this on a spacewalk on the ISS?
No, it was in the ISS, and he was talking about something, explaining something, some guy. I think there's been a load of videos with the one guy who, like, you know, the guy that squeezes out some water, and he's got like these water droplets, and he's eating them,
Yeah.
like eating the water droplets. I'm sure it was one of them videos.
Okay.
But you could see in the video clearly either side of him, like on his hips, where there was something hooked, like him pulling up his trousers, sort of thing, and you could see where something was hooked up to him,
Really?
and it looked like, well, the theory was that he's not actually in space. He's just been harnessed there, here on Earth somewhere, to make it look like he's in space. That's how he can float around, because he's got hooked
See,
up to
but the
something.
thing is, with today's technology and the amount of deep fake that's out there, I wouldn't put it past someone taking real footage of a real astronaut really floating in space and superimpose those wires on him
Yeah, that's true.
to make it look like it's fake.
Yeah, I don't.
This is what I was saying in the last episode about how scary it potentially could be. So go check that out.
Check out the last video. Yeah. Yeah. I'd say, why would they need to lie and say there's nobody on the ISS right now? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. And with the moon, the first mission was 3 people. That's easy to get 3 people to lie. But there's like over 100 people who visited the ISS
Yeah.
and returned. People have gone back. People who lived there for 6 months of the year.
You say it's only 3 people that went to the moon and it's easy to get them to lie, but there's 3 people that went on a rocket, but you don't know how many people are involved in the moon landing.
Well, yeah,
Exactly. There's hundreds of people that worked on that mission in Houston, you know, doing all the other stuff that they need.
If they didn't go, then they deserve a medal just as much for pulling off one of the biggest scams in human history. Because 50 years later, it's still not known if, well, the vast majority believe they did go, but a lot of people believe they didn't. 50 years later.
Yeah, I don't understand why they would need to lie and say they didn't, even now, if they didn't. Do you know what I mean? Why would they not just come clean?
Well, they wouldn't now, would they? Maybe in the next 100 years, when the people, everyone involved in that mission are dead, and the people who made the decisions to pull off that mission in the first place are dead.
Yeah.
That's like the FBI and the CIA, they classified files. They become declassified in like 200 years' time. That's why, because then there's no one to blame. Oh yeah, we did these horrific things. We lied about this. We brutally murdered and tortured all these people. But that weren't us. That was them. Nothing to do with us.
Can't blame us. That was our ancestors.
That's why these clauses are in place.
Yeah. I don't get why they would say they did when they didn't. All right, yeah, to say to Russia, yeah, we've done it. But so what? What did they gain from that?
They beat Russia.
Yeah, but all right, is that it? Just because they got there first?
Yeah, that is literally it. That's the only reason they went there. The moon is a dead planet. They recently think that there's resources there to potentially refuel our rockets.
Right.
But other than that, there's nothing worth mining. There's nothing worth doing there. It's very dangerous. There's stuff worth going there for, but for the risk, there's very little reward.
Mm.
And no government, no body of power does anything unless there's a high stake reward.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I think I do think I know the ISS is there. I've seen it. Like I've seen it.
Up close?
No. Like I've seen it in the sky.
Well, that could be anything. That could be a UFO.
No.
You haven't seen it. You've seen.
I've seen what looks. Well, I've seen what I believe to be it. Yeah, I've seen what I believe to be it. I'm sure there's certain times that you can actually see it. If you've got a decent telescope, you can see it.
If you've got a telescope, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some brilliant pictures. I follow this guy on Instagram. He's got some brilliant shots.
You know, I think I've seen the same guy. I follow the same guy. Passing the moon. Yeah.
Yeah, sun filter and had a shot of it in front of the
sun.
There's
a guy that takes pictures of the sun as well with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty impressive telescope, that. Going back to what you're saying earlier, if his telescope's that good, then NASA's telescope must be fucking 100 times better.
Well, yeah, they can see the edge of the universe.
Galaxies from, what is it that they recently took a picture, didn't they, of a dark point in the sky? You know, that picture that got released probably about a year ago now, with all the galaxies in it. Have you seen it?
Maybe. Go on, I don't know.
It was, Brian Cox said about it. I've seen that video where he says if you hold your thumb up to the sky,
Yeah.
And in this picture, it starts off with all these stars and galaxies that it can see, but there was a little black spot, and they thought that there was nothing there.
Okay.
But they pointed the telescope at it and told it to take a load of pictures, however long ago it took to get to see all the thing. And when they actually got to it and could see it, there was billions of galaxies in there, in a little tiny little spot.
Yeah.
So if they can see that, and it was something like bloody however many billion light years away, maybe
The crazy
million.
thing is that galaxy is probably not even there anymore.
No, yeah, exactly. You just it just hurts my brain. Hurts my brain thinking about.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we like space though, don't we?
The amount of space that's out there. Again, I go back and forth on the concept of aliens. Like the amount of space that's out there, how big space is and how full it is. It seems inevitable that life must exist elsewhere. But then for things to be so perfectly aligned here in our solar system, for the amount of time it has been for us to evolve, makes me wonder, is it a rare chance?
It is. It is rare. The fact that Earth is the right climate, it's the right pressure, it's the right gravity, it's the right everything for humans to evolve and be made. But if the universe is that big, which it is, obviously, and the chances of it happening again are slim, but it's so big and there's that many galaxies, it must have happened again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the chances are, let's say 0.0 fucking 1%. But when there's that many galaxies, we're talking billions and billions of galaxies. Just that's galaxies, not planets, galaxies.
Each with a trillion stars.
Exactly, it's stars. Our sun is one of those.
Our one star has got 9 planets.
Exactly. So for there to be billions of galaxies with trillions of stars in them, for it not to have happened again is impossible. I think even at a 0.010%, 0.01%,
I
there's
think
that many of them.
life as it appears on Earth, I think, is probably unique to Earth.
Yeah,
I think potential consciousness could exist in the universe that doesn't take a physical form,
that's possible.
or not in the way that we would perceive.
I mean,
What if plants on another planet are conscious?
Yeah,
What if
that could happen. That
what if
could
there's
happen.
cannabis plants that smoke little humans that grow to the ground?
Have you heard about the theory that the octopuses are aliens or
Yeah,
come
I
from
like that one.
space? That's a cool concept, isn't it? It's a cool theory. And it that they actually came from like a meteor or something that crashed into Earth and then evolved in the water through the bacteria or whatever it was that was on this meteor.
Yeah,
that
but
right?
the only thing is with that, they share, even though they look physically, they look like nothing else on this planet. Like they can do things.
They've got no lungs.
They got no lungs. They got like 3 brains, hearts. They can
They've got
fit
no
into
bones. They've got no
anything.
bones. Yeah, they've got no bone structure to them.
They can fit into anything that their eyes can fit into. So no matter how small a gap is, if that gap is big enough for their eyeballs, their entire body can squeeze through it.
Yeah. Have you seen the video of it squeezing through a little hole in a boat to escape?
No. Have you seen it
Have you not?
undoing a jar? They figure out how to undo a screw top jar.
No, I haven't seen that. There's a video that I've seen. I've seen it a few times actually. There's an octopus on a boat, and there's a tiny gap between the barrier of the boat and the floor of the boat. There's a tiny gap, probably that big, and this giant fucking octopus puts one leg through, and then another leg squeezes through, and it ends up squeezing its whole body through this thing, and then drops back into the water.
But anyway, even though they look like nothing, they literally look alien. Their DNA is too similar to ours.
Really?
We share more of our DNA with an octopi than we do with a banana. And we share 50% of our DNA with a banana.
No way.
I know which 50% that is.
Gay.
So their DNA is Terran. It's Earth DNA.
Yeah, but maybe it got that part of its DNA after it got here. Maybe it's evolved over millions of years and through somehow managed to get our
There's
DNA.
theories that humanoid aliens came to Earth and tampered with apes genetically to develop us, humans. and supposedly they use us as a slave race to mine gold to spray into their atmosphere because of global warming. But that's another episode.
What the
But
hell?
from the 10th planet, have you heard about that?
No.
Nibiru, I think it's called. But yeah, anyway. Maybe an octopi type race of aliens came down and experimented on sea life.
Maybe.
So maybe they originated on Earth, they just got genetically modified.
I like my theory better. They come from space. Did you see the octopus that was like predicting World Cup outcomes?
Yeah, I don't know if that's real.
I don't know. It was like it was getting them right, wasn't it, for a while? I don't know if it got them all right, but
I mean, they're pretty smart, but how can they predict? That's
I don't know.
signifies they know the future.
Give them a choice of two, and it got the right one.
Oh, so were the results already known? Had the game's already been played?
No,
So it wasn't until a later date they knew the results.
they would give this octopus two different teams. It would choose one of them, and it happened to be that was every time that was the one that won.
That's 50-50. It's either yes or no.
Maybe it didn't give them two. Maybe it gave them more.
And that's impressive.
Yeah, it is. I like these wonders. These things that we don't know anything about. Hurts my brain.
Yeah, octopi are fucking cool.
Yeah.
There's so many different types, and they can completely camouflage with their surroundings.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. Yeah, but like instantly though.
Instantly.
There's
Perfectly.
obviously chameleons. They can camouflage, but not that quick. It takes a while for them to change their skin tones.
And don't they only change their skin tone? I'm sure octopi can change their skin texture. They can
Oh,
change the
maybe.
shape of it and make it look like whatever they are camouflaging into.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. That's cool though.
It's very strange. I would like to be in a
Yeah.
dark room with one of those.
That's scary. I don't like being in a dark room with anything. Scary shit.
You know, if you're in a dark room, like completely dark,
Yeah.
and you have a head torch, so you have one point of light, and that point of light is only where you look. You can't see anywhere else apart from where the direction your head's facing.
That sounds like something from a horror film. But
Yeah.
go on.
So picture you working down the mine.
Yeah.
You put something, you look over and put something with your right hand, you put it down to your right.
Yeah.
When you look away to see, say that there's a screwdriver or something, you put it down to your right.
Hmm.
If you were looking forward again, can you remember with spatial awareness where you put that object and pick it up straight away? Or do you have to like
Probably.
feel around for it and then look down where you put it?
Probably. I probably could. Yeah. Why?
I was just wondering. I was thinking about it the other day after our memory podcast.
That's 2 episodes back. Jump back and have a look. Is it 2? I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I was wondering how you perceive, how you recall your memories. Like, obviously, that's a memory. I remember where I put it. So in my brain, I'm recreating a 3D simulation, pretty much, of where that object is. So even though I'm looking forward, I can still see it where I put it because I can remember. Do you know what I mean? I'm recreating my surroundings in my head. Even though it's dark, in my head, I can see because it's light.
No. I just know that I've got a screwdriver right there. I just know the screwdriver's there, so I just grab it. I don't picture anything in my head or anything like that.
It got me thinking. It's weird.
Blimey.
I was thinking about it because I put my hand in my pocket to fish out my keys to get them into my car.
Yeah.
So my hand was in my pocket, and it was a day after work, so I had various things. Screws, different size nails, my keys, various different change, like different coins.
Yeah.
And when I was putting my hands in my pocket to find what I was looking for, each thing that I was touching, I was visualizing in my head. So I was creating this 3D space inside my pocket. I was visualizing everything I was touching, just like a blind person would. You know, they feel, they see their surroundings with their hands.
Yeah.
So in their head, I suppose it works a bit like LiDAR. An object bounces off something, so their hands, and they construct an image of what they can feel for them to be able to see it. And that image is in their head.
That's what if they're blind, that's what they think it looks like. But yeah, I can't. I don't do that. I just put my hand in my pocket, grab my keys.
That's strange. I don't want to go back down that rabbit hole again, but I was just wondering.
No.
It crossed
Okay,
my
we
mind.
won't do that. We won't do that. What's the latest on on SpaceX anyway? Have you got any updates for us on that? What's going on?
They're currently waiting for the FDA approval for the next test launch of the Starship Heavy.
What's the Starship Heavy?
It's the biggest and most powerful rocket ever created.
Right.
It's the big rocket to get them to the moon, Mars, and beyond. That's the slogan.
Moon, Mars, and beyond.
Yeah.
And he wants to. Is it Elon that wants to build some sort of starbase on the moon?
I well, no, that's NASA. He's just their taxi.
Right.
Because,
So-
like I said earlier, rockets are very expensive, and NASA have spent the last 70 years, however
Yeah.
long NASA have been going for, developing single-use rockets. So they put all this money and effort into building a rocket. They launch it up, and it comes crashing back down into the sea, into the desert, wherever the fuck it lands.
Yeah.
For the last 5% of it to get to wherever it's going. That's a lot
Yeah.
of money
Because it
thrown
breaks
down the
up,
drain.
doesn't it? Yeah, it breaks up into different pieces.
So Elon's company, SpaceX, is developing, they've got actually a few of them, a completely reusable rocket. So it
Right.
goes up, and it comes back down, and it goes back up.
Right.
The whole point of it is that it can go back up. So
Yeah.
because he's done it really successfully, and many companies have since tried mimicking his design,
And they can't.
few companies are getting there. I know Jeff Bezos, is it Blue Origin? He's
Right.
trying his best, bless him, but he's he's falling a bit behind.
Maybe you should read some more books.
Did you see he tried suing SpaceX?
No.
So that he put in a pitch. NASA obviously going back to the moon. Their mission scheduled for 2025
Right.
to land the first female and first African American on the moon.
Right. Oh, okay. Is that the same person, or is that one
No,
female,
two,
one
two different people.
African
One
American
female,
male? Right.
one African American. I assume a male, yeah.
Right. Okay.
First black person is what I said.
Right.
So that's their mission. That's NASA's mission. But
Mm.
because it costs a hell of a lot, and they just haven't got the funding, no one's funding NASA to go to the moon because there's nothing there. There's no
Yeah.
reason to go there. They're catching a ride off SpaceX because his rockets are reusable. They're a hell of a lot cheaper.
And he's going to the moon, is he, or is he just going to send them up because why not? I'm Elon Musk, and I've got loads of money, and it don't matter.
Oh, he's sending them up. You remember when he sent, using the Falcon Heavy, he sent astronauts to the ISS?
Maybe, possibly. I don't know. I'm not
It
sure.
was
Can't remember.
during COVID lockdown. I'm sure you watched it. Everyone
Oh, he
watched it.
sent. Is it Tim Peake? Is it when he went up? The English guy.
I don't know who the astronauts were, but I think it's 3 astronauts on board.
Right. Okay. Maybe that was that one. I did when I watched the one during COVID in the lockdown and stuff. I'm sure it was Tim Peake, the British guy.
Maybe.
He went up there. Right. Okay.
Was
So
that
he's
launched from the UK? Was that the one launched from Cornwall?
no, that one failed. That
Right, yeah, I remember
and
that.
that was last year, I think it was.
Yeah, but anyway, so it was the first ever private company to launch NASA astronauts to the ISS. The first
Right.
private company to even dock with the ISS, which was a huge feat for any company.
Yeah.
That was the Falcon Heavy, which again is reusable. The boosters off that, they're the ones, have you seen the video? They come back down and land side by
Yeah.
side. They're
Yeah.
the boosters. So they the force behind it, the lifting power.
Yeah. Because it takes a
the
lot of
rocket, yeah.
a lot of space to a lot of force to leave the atmosphere, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think the Falcon Heavies are actually only like 90% reusable. I think they waste a little bit of it. But still, 90% reusable compared to 95% disposable.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Really fucking good.
But is it Elon that wants to build the base, or is that NASA that want to build the base?
That's NASA.
And they want to build a base on the moon for
Yeah,
what? For what
scientific
exactly?
research and a gateway, really. A pit stop
Just to
to
expand.
Mars.
Right. Okay.
Let's get their foot out the door, I think. The main goal for Elon, at least, is a civilization, a city on Mars.
But I guess obviously once they've got some sort of base on the moon, they can go to the moon and then stay there for however long they need, and then keep going on to Mars.
But yeah, if they can, because they use something like 70% of their fuel just getting out of the atmosphere, Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah.
So then they've only got a reserve of like 30% to continue the rest of their destination.
Yeah.
So if they could refuel on the moon, which doesn't have any atmosphere, so they haven't got no atmospheric drag when lifting off, it's got a lot less gravity, 1/3 of Earth's gravity.
Yeah. They can just fuel up and keep going.
It's a lot easier, a lot more efficient to launch off of the moon than it is off of Earth. So if they can refuel to a full tank, launch off and save 95% of the fuel, they can get a lot further in space. Or potentially just as far, but a lot quicker. Just burn more fuel and get there quicker.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, that's why they want to have a presence on the moon. It's more of a gateway, I think, more of a foot at the door, or
A stopping
halfway
point
stop,
to
yeah.
expanding
station.
humanity into the rest of the universe.
Moon, Mars, and beyond.
Lovely. Great stuff. All right. Well, I've had a lovely chat, as always.
Yeah, pleasure.
Shall we end on a nice little light-hearted joke?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Yodel lady.
Yodel lady who?
Hey, stop yodeling, for God's sake.
Terrible.
I know it is. It's terrible. Right.
That's it. You're banned from going to Thailand.
Oh, man.
That's it for today, guys. Thanks very much for watching.
Like, I didn't know you were going to stop.
And that's it today. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Click on the bell icon.
And don't forget to follow us over on Instagram or TikTok. All the followers would be much appreciated. We'll leave a link in the description down below. And that's it.
We'll see you next time.
And don't forget, it's all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits.
Bye.
Bye.
The Chits and Giggles Podcast.